Okay, I don't want to alarm any of you, but Kristen Stewart, you know, that actress from Twilight, the one who played Lady Di in that thing. Yeah, her. She has done something as shocking as it is appalling. My concerns were initially raised when Rolling Stone tweeted this, and it's a quote from Kristen Stewart saying, "I want to do the gayest fucking thing you've ever seen in your life." Now, I assume you understand why I felt worried when I saw a tweet like that coming from those perverted renegades over at Rolling Stone. But initially, I managed to calm myself down. I said, Danny, the gentle fabric of society will not be torn to shreds this evening, okay? I'm sure, what could that mean? The gayest fucking thing you've seen in your entire life. She's obviously just going to be in the latest Star Wars movie or something. Whoa! Whoa! Well, sweet naivete. Would that it were she was starring in the latest Star Wars movie. It's much worse. I am a gay. Oh!
Oh, Daniel Boland, this is a heavy hitter. Do you guys know who this is?
Now, hopefully it goes without saying that my video's got absolutely nothing to do with Kristen's sexuality. That's neither here nor there. What I'm interested in, what I want to talk about, what I want to explore in today's video is Kristen's absolute ignorance of her own image, her complete detachment from reality, her absolute arrested development. She's 33 years old. Let's be under no illusions. She is not some angst-ridden 15-year-old exploring herself and her body, right? Putting her hands down her men's Y-fronts with her cut-off leather waistcoat and her bad haircut. This Sarah Connor chic thing she's got going on here, all right? To me, it's not even acceptable in Willow Smith, who's hurtling towards her mid-20s. You need to get over your sexuality. You need to actually have a personality, okay? Not these characteristics which tell me nothing about who you are. You can't make this your thing, okay? It's been done. Nobody cares anymore, all right? This photo shoot is the gaudiest thing I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, having seen this and having heard that quote about wanting to make the gayest thing anyone's ever seen, I thought, I really want to hear what this Kristen girl has to say about the world. And thankfully, a couple of weeks ago, she did an interview with Variety, and they published it. And we're going to take a look at some of the things she thinks, some of her hot takes on the world. You're going to love it.
Will they kill me, do you think? I know what that's from. I have a visceral memory of this. I say that at some point in Spencer.
So the idea with this interview is really simple. They just give Kristen some lines that she's had in films. She has to read them and then say, oh yeah, I said that in this film, and she gives a little bit of a backstory to it. This could be the breeziest interview of all time. Not with Kristen Stewart, though.
Will they kill me, do you think? Primarily, it was about kind of absorbing her feeling. I know that sounds so obvious, but I had to focus on how she made me feel and just kind of internalize that, take it on physically somehow. I had a really brilliant coach that helped me kind of source my inclinations toward her, and kind of the ways that we were similar were what I wanted to focus on versus the things that made us dissimilar. And the things that I felt tied to her with were really palpable to me. So I just sort of kind of thought if I could focus on those things and distract people from the things that were not the same.
Oh, it's fascinating, you know. So when she was playing Princess Diana, you know, trying to channel Princess Diana.
I am Lady Di. Amazing, tremendous, magnificent Lady Di. What died?
She, what she did was, she tried to present the elements of her personality, the aspects of her personality and perhaps her physical appearance, her voice, which were more similar to the real Princess Diana, and tried to sort of distract the audience from anything that would draw their attention that was dissimilar between her, the actress, and the real character, the real person she was supposed to be playing, all right, Princess Diana. And I believe industry insiders know that process as acting.
It was like a weird, fevery, poemy experience. I had to kind of trust fall into it.
Cosmic.
Okay, how long have you been 17? I still feel 17. Sometimes, or at least in contexts such as these. Oh, this is from Twilight. The first one.
How long have you been 17?
We started when I was 17. We finished up when I was like around, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I'm really good at math, 5 years. To stick with something for that long. It's not like a very actor-y thing to do. We all have this like embedded, flitty nature.
Personality disorders.
I want to try on all the shoes, and they were the same shoes for so long.
Well, thank God for the shoe analogy. I would never have understood it otherwise, Kristen. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so catty, right? It's just, I don't know what's wrong with my brain or what's right with it, but I hate analogies. Analogies really piss me off because most of the time they're completely they're unwarranted. They're not needed, okay? Keep analogies to an absolute minimum. Unless something is so abstract and so complex that without an analogy, no one can understand it, right? We all understand that playing the same character for a long time can be a bit frustrating and you want to do other films and other stuff, right? We don't need a shoe analogy.
It's not about owning her, it's about building a life with her. It's not about owning her, it's about building a happy season.
It's not about owning her, it's about building a life with her.
It's a gay Christmas movie. All Christmas movies are pretty gay. I think it's just sort of like the most straightforward one.
Yeah, all Christmas movies are gay, aren't they? You know, remember that next time at Christmas you're over at your grandparents' house and your granddad insists on watching The Great Escape. And you can say it to him, I know why you want to watch The Great Escape, Granddad. It's for the homoerotic undertones, isn't it?
I really love little tiny movies.
She loves little tiny movies.
I love ones that you don't always know how you feel about them.
She loves ones that you don't always know how you feel about them.
Those don't sell as easily. And so it was nice to be a part of something that you just know exactly how you feel about it.
It was nice to be part of one
and it was nice to not feel like we were doing human impressions, but to actually be the humans that we are in a context that felt easy.
Oh, Kristen, don't get me started on those phony Hollywood films they keep churning out where all the actors are just doing human impressions instead of just being the humans they are in a context that's easy.
And light in a time where we're kind of finally starting to broaden perspective. It was kind of the most rebellious thing we could do is acknowledge that it hadn't been done before.
You know, all this talk of rebellion and this whole I'm going to take out Skynet at the source look she's got going on, I don't know what she's capable of. She's a loose cannon, this Kristen Stewart. I think she should be on some sort of list.
And then we could go do the wild, bloody, edgy, in-your-face stuff because we were also like, we're just want to have a good time. Crime's the Future. It's a David Cronenberg movie.
Surgery is the new sex.
It's a part of David's utter genius is that you go, this made me feel a lot, and it put me in my body, and it kickstarted a thought process that nobody can untangle, but nobody can stop talking about.
Oh, we've all seen films like that. Tell me in the comments, what was the last film that you watched that made you feel a lot and it really put you in your body? And it started off a thought process that nobody can untangle, but that nobody can stop talking about either. I mean, you must have like about 10 just right off the top of your head, mustn't you?
Personal Shopper. It was the weirdest existential spiral I've ever had on a movie.
Go in the comments. I want your top 5 weirdest existential spirals. Not necessarily on a movie set, okay? They can be in you know, the supermarket or whatever, wherever they happen to you, the weirdest, your top 5 weirdest existential spirals, please.
I think that movie is probably different for everyone, so I don't want to like lead the witness, but you don't have to believe in ghosts for them to be real.
You don't have to believe in ghosts for them to be real.
There are present feelings that are more legitimate than alive things.
There are present feelings that are more legitimate than alive things.
Who's been stealing your thoughts?
And there are dead things that are more present than alive things. I'm definitely scared of ghosts, but I don't know if they're real. I don't think we have words for this.
Oh, well, that's where you're wrong, Kristen.
Let that Holy Ghost language come up out of you. Go ahead.
I think that we definitely have goosebumps for a reason. I think that there are through lines and coincidences, and I think there's an internal life that is inarticulatable. Snow White. Yeah, it's a tough one. It deals with some real present female issues.
And about bloody time, too.
Charlize is one of the most stunning and truly powerful people to stand in a room with that you can encounter in life. And I was kind of in a time in my life where I really was like vulnerable and small and like insecure, but then also like kind of raging quietly.
It was a time in her life when she was both vulnerable and a raging torrent of human emotion beneath the surface. You know, with Barnum's statements like that, she should be writing the horoscope section for Rolling Stone rather than fondling herself in lesbotic attire.
You know, Charlize is like a really, really fun scene partner. And so the whole time I was just like, I feel so bad for the queen, actually. She's not bad. She's just been dealt a rough set of cards. Anytime there are castles involved, like, women are being locked somewhere.
You really are flitting all over the place, aren't you, Kristen? I'm pretty sure the queen in Snow White was bad, and she wasn't getting locked up anywhere. And not to make too fine a point about all this, but how do you think the average man lived in feudal, medieval Europe? I'm just, you know, I don't want to get into all that, but how do you think the peasant men lived, dying in the fields or on the battlefields? I bet they'd have liked to have been locked up in a castle somewhere getting shagged by a king.
It just felt like kind of a really cool way to tell that story that was fun and like take a fairy tale and turn it on its head a bit.
I haven't seen this version of Snow White, but I imagine it wasn't a really fun way to turn another fairy tale on its head. I like my fairy tales upright, okay? That's the way I like my fairy tales. The way the Daily Wire tell them, okay?
I haven't been to Sundance in a minute. The last time I was there, I was with my short film. I feel so at home there. I feel, obviously, like, you know, that festival was designed for people like me.
Actors or people with dissociative disorders.
I love that place. The 2 movies that I'm there with this year are called Love Lies Bleeding, by an English director, actually about a really particular slice of the US of A, kind of an odd imagining of an 80s fever dream in which I think Rose was kind of encouraged to tell a strong female story.
Well, that sounds positively earth-shattering, and I can't wait to see it. If you've enjoyed today's video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment. Share this everywhere. Let's get 1 million views. Oh, and by the way, I've got a new video out on Patreon I brought out yesterday. I think it's one of my best ever. If you want to check that out, click on the link in the description or in the link that's also on the pinned comment under this video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
In a world that hates diversity, one family will overcome all obstacles in their way. Because you can never find out how strong you truly are until you're fucked. In cinemas Juneteenth.